Hi, it's Anne-Marie again for the ABC of Be Aware Holistic Health series. So today's letter, pardon me, is on the letter I. So dedicated to my cat named Inca, actually our cat, family cat. So anyone with pets will appreciate how wonderful they are to our health and well-being. So in regards to the body, mind and emotional care, the letter I is associated with the body, with the immunity. And it's a very, very, very controversial topic at the moment because there's a lot of information that's out there that can be confusing even between the conventional allopathic physicians. Allopathic, I've talked about before, is the more conservative medical models where you have your general GPs and your surgeons, as opposed to natural medicine, which is more traditional medicine. Both are very important, with a nursing background as well as a natural care background in training. I am very, very confident that both have their purpose. With regards to immunity in the body, there are many, many things that you can do as an individual to improve your immunity, just on a simple level in daily living. Things like I spoke about Tridosa rasiana, which is, I gave an example, which is here. Lemon, ginger and honey, very well known even in the West. All of these aspects have properties that will increase your immunity defense, which I'll elaborate a little bit more on in a minute. So lemon is known for its antibacterial properties, and it may even have more. I just haven't done more research to the present. So lemon in particular is great for the immunity, as well as ginger, which is a known anti-inflammatory. And in the pathway of inflammation, there's many, many, many different steps. And at the very top, about the second or third major step, there's particular enzymes, B-lipogenase enzymes, and they influence the inflammatory process. And ginger has known properties to affect this particular enzyme. So it's an anti-inflammatory right up in the early stages. And then you've got honey, which is a food. Please, if you think it's just a sugar, then you have been misled. Honey is a food in the sense that it has many, many different molecules in it that are associated with lots and lots of different properties. I did a newsletter once on it and I called it the nectar of the gods, because there's so many wonderful things that honey has for our health, and antimicrobial is one of them. And when I say antimicrobial means that it will deal with many different pathogens, of which there's a class of around 4 or 5, maybe more now with new science information. However, we're all familiar with the term viruses, and which are very small, and bacteria and protozoa and fungi or fungus. So antimicrobial properties in a particular food or plant or even medicine means that it's going to deal with more than one of these microbes, and then you've got to delve into which specific one it is. So lemon, ginger and honey all do aspects for the body, and therefore body, mind and emotions, because as I keep emphasizing, if we have healthy cells, we have healthy tissues, healthy organs, healthy systems overall in general, and then we have a healthy foundation for our body, which carries our mind. Without our body, we don't have the mind, which is beyond the brain, which psychology talks as brain and mind and behavior. And then, of course, how we're feeling. How we're feeling is associated with how our cells are functioning and with the way we're thinking. So lemon, ginger and honey, a Tridosa rasiana. I spoke about it in one of my other earlier videos for this series. This is a great one to improve general immunity. The other factor I want to step on into a little bit more with the immunity is, at the moment, there's a lot of information enforced on the planet, really. This is a planetary issue now because it's affecting everything. When a particular virus associated with, in that family, associated with the common cold, which, yes, in elderly is devastating. However, at the end of your life, you're very vulnerable to many, many factors, particularly when you're put into a nursing home, because that means you can't care for yourself. So at the moment with this situation, there is a fear projected that the only form of immunity that one can do to help prevent this horrendous scenario of getting a really bad, really bad common cold virus, which is what coronas are, as opposed to the influenza virus, which is for a flu, or a herpes virus, which is for herpes, is that we have our own first defense. We have two main immunities in our body, forms of immunity. We have what we call an innate, which is like the fortress, and that will be our skin and our mucous membranes, which line all our organs, including our respiratory, which is where the main source of the entry of, say, for example, this particular virus that's taken over the planet has, in theory, becomes into the body. So it's inhaled. It's inhaled, and the first port of call that our body would have would be in the nasal. Hopefully you are breathing through your nose. If you're not breathing through your nose and your nose is not blocked, then please start breathing in and out through your nose, because it's got natural defenses. It's got little hairs in it that help trap the pathogens or germs, whatever they are, foreign objects that should not be going into our lungs. So they'll trap it. So use your nose. We've also got extra mucosa or mucus within the nasal cavity and the nostrils. And that also will assist with trapping, because if it's going into the mucosa, then it's not going straight into the airways and into the bloodstream and into the cells of the lungs and into the bloodstream, the alveoli, into the connecting to the ACE2 receptor and going into the bloodstream. So anything that will be inhaled can be prevented to go down into the lungs by simple, healthy mechanisms. In India, they use a pseudo form of mucous membrane protecting, where you get a little bit of oil, you put it on, preferably sesame if you can, otherwise vegetable oils, whatever you've got, put it on there and just put it inside the nostrils, and that will give an extra bit of moisture, which will trap when you inhale. And then when you exhale through the nose, that's another factor. It's important to breathe in and out through the nose. Unless you're doing a specific yogic technique or breathing technique, there's no reason why we should be breathing out of our mouth. Our mouth is for eating and our nose is for breathing. So it's a backup, the mouth, when it's blocked, the nose. And there are techniques to unblock it, which I will talk about in another time, pardon me, because I really want to emphasize that breathing in and out through the nose is the main defense. Another reason why, and there is a paper that I've just pulled up from the CDC about, which is a meta-analysis about 14 RCTs that, or randomized control studies that emphasize that using an object over the face, such as a mask, is not effective in preventing a virus from entering, in particularly the influenza. And the size of the influenza and the size of the corona, both viruses, stay tuned, I will find out. However, there's no solid evidence to show that it prevents it, because I know the particles so small and those masks are so porous. And when we talk about the cloth mask, don't get me going, because when we breathe out moisture. And that moisture is going to be affecting whatever it is that's on our face. So it's so important to be breathing in as much as possible fresh air. And if you choose to wear something over your face, please put something like, unless you're allergic, disclaimer, if you're allergic to whatever I suggest, don't even bother. However, put a drop of eucalyptus oil in the mask, wave it in the air so you just get that extra moisture off, and then put it. It'd be like having the Vicks Vapor Rub or eucalyptus Vapor Rub on your back or on your chest. And that will also help because it's antimicrobial, in particular antiviral. So we've got our nose as a defense. We've got our skin as a defense, which is when it's unbroken. We've also got another part of the immunity, which is the immunity where we have our soldiers. So the first one I've talked about is like the fortress, and then the second one is like the soldiers, where we have our immunoglobulins or our IgM, IgA, IgE, etc., etc. And to talk about this in detail in 15 minutes is forget it. So just noting that you have soldiers in your body. So if you come across a foreign object that's gone into the body and it has initiated a defense, a cytokine storm of response from the immunity, then it is important to know that if the rest of your body is in optimum shape, i.e. you've got a decent performing circulatory, you're still breathing in and out beautiful fresh air or antimicrobial aromatics through the air, then you're going to be able to, and you're resting. Another factor is very important for immunity when you get sick. So this soldiering on, which is utilized in ads for products when you're sick, is ridiculous, because we are meant to rest when we are sick. In fact, when you do rest properly when you are sick, you'll get better very quickly, more quickly, with professional help if you need it. Emphasize that, from whatever modality that works for you, whether it's Chinese medicine, Indian medicine, Western allopathic medicine, natural medicine, whatever it is, you'll get help. You get help. And then you rest. You will actually feel better than you were before. Now, the immunity also, there's so many factors. However, I want to emphasize holistically, the nervous system definitely affects the immunity. So when you are distressed, when you are under great duress stress, then it is important to know that that is minimalizing your immunity response, whether it's via hormonal response or neurotransmitter or lowering the CD4, CD8. They're just a type of immunity cells that are in your body. It is known fact. So relaxation, this is another reason why relaxation, the dichotomy, if I had to say it, of distress is to increase relaxation. That will slow the cellular performance down. It will minimize the mutations of the cells. This is science. And it will also increase the performance of where the body needs to put its attention into, which is at that time on the immunity. This is why watching humorous shows, if you're up to it when you're sick, is so beneficial, because that increases your endorphins, your natural morphine in your body or opioids in your body. And that will also assist with cellular activity and immune response. So immunity is incredibly important for your body's healthcare, and you can sustain it well when you do something on a regular basis, like the particular ingredients I had before on the screen, which is your lemon, ginger, and honey, or other factors that you use in your regular routine for diet. So immunity for the body. And then with the mind, I had inspiration and initiate. So initiation of your thought, whether it's progressing to a productive way of thinking, or if you are initiating it to go down a destructive way of thinking, they're all your choice. Whatever you choose to think is your choice. And of course, the other one is emotions, which is inspire. I hope today that I have inspired you to research a little bit more rather than listen, because you are more than what the environment defines you as. So namaste, love always, and have a beautiful, beautiful day or night, whatever time you're watching this. And thank you for watching. Bye.